Good evening, everyone. So, today we are all here. Yes, today we are all here for an IELTS webinar, like you all already know. And I am Sanchana, and this is, today our webinar is about true, false, and not given. One of the very complicated questions in your IELTS. So, for those who are not very familiar with IELTS, we'll start with a small introduction about it, and then we'll proceed. Yes, so IELTS is basically an exam that you have to write if you want to move abroad. That is, if you want to either study abroad or you want to say work or migrate abroad. So telling you that the first decision that you have to make is whether you want to do academic IELTS or general IELTS. So what's the difference, you ask? General IELTS is when you want to work abroad, or when you want to migrate abroad, when you're planning to shift abroad. It's generally you have to take the general IELTS. And when you decide to do your higher studies or even your undergraduate, and you are looking for a degree, an admission in in any universities, that's when you decide to take the academic IELTS. Now, there are very few minor changes in both these tests. I would like to talk about that before we get into the, you know, reading portion of it. So, again, for those of you who are new, IELTS tests you on four skills. That's reading, listening, speaking, and writing. In this, again, in you have these four skills, but you have again two different type of tests. That's computer based and paper based. So many of them prefer the paper based, but the computer based test is also quite good, especially if your typing speed is really good. You can opt for the computer based test, or even if your handwriting is not really good, you can opt for the computer based test. A small drawback of the computer based test is that for listening and reading, generally you have this extra time that is given for transferring your answers from the question paper to the answer sheet. So in your computer based test, you get only 2 minutes, whereas in your paper based test, you get 10 minutes. So this helps many students review their answers, correct their answers before they can submit it. That is the major drawback. Now, when you see all writing, reading, and listening, all these three sections will be given on a computer, and for a paper based test you will have to write it, but speaking will always happen in front of an examiner, whether it is computer based or whether it is paper based. So now moving on, like I mentioned, yes, I would like to mention a few changes in the academic and general IELTS. Your major change is writing task 1. In writing you will have task 1 and task 2, and your task 1 for academic will be uh, a graph or a pie chart, and for general it will be a letter writing, and your task 2 will remain the same, which is an essay writing. That is the major difference. In listening, your speaking will not have any difference, except for the question, you know are you a student or are you working. Except for that, there will be no other difference. And when it comes to listening and reading, there will be a little difference. In reading, you will have, for academic, you will have lengthy academic related passages, and for general you will have passages that cater to everyday life and social stuff. But your questions, so the reading part generally has 14 questions, 14 different type of questions, and they will pick certain questions from this, and they will okay. um, for please type in all your queries, all your questions in the chat box. Once the session is over, I would be answering every one of them. Yes, so please just feel free to drop your questions in the chat box throughout the webinar. Okay, so but I'll answer them at the end. So like I was saying, there are 14 different type of questions, and out of these 14 you will have some of the questions picked and given to you. One of the question is true, false, not given, that we will be looking at today. And this is one of a very tricky question, and that is because our minds from young, we are used to answering true or false questions, but not given is something new. that is something that generally we are not used to doing. So that's where we find it a little difficult. So I would like to go into a little information about the true false not given question, and then I would like to speak about a few materials or a few tools that you can use. I would like to introduce you to that. I would also like to speak about the free tools that we provide. So please stay for that as well. And please type in your questions. I will be answering all your questions in the end. Yes. So to begin with, I would like to say, if a text, okay, your reading text agrees with or confirms the information in the statement, the answer is true. And I'm just giving you the definition of true, false, not given. And if the text contradicts or is the opposite to the information of the statement, then the answer is false. If there is no information or it is impossible for you to find any information, then it is not given. So please don't waste time in searching for the information. Your brain knows very well to find information, and if you're not finding some information there, probably it is not given. So one thing you have to remember is we are dealing with factual information. So there is no room to say it is similar or nearly the same. There are two categories: yes, no, not given; true, false, not given. Please don't confuse. Today we are looking into true, false, not given. At the end, I will give you a small, brief description about yes, no, and not given. Yes. So moving on. Lots of students have argued with me during practice and said that the statement is true because it kind of means the same. There is no kind of when it comes to this, because only facts. Okay, just because an answer is not given does not mean that there are no words in the statement that matches the words in the text. This is something that confuses people. The thing is that IELTS people really want you to get confused, so they throw in a lot of text there, text that is not necessary, and they confuse you. So if words match the text, that does not mean that it is true or false or not given. You have to really read it well. So okay, this is not a good way to think about these questions, because there will be probably a lot of matching words for not given, but you will get confused. I will give you a few examples as we move ahead. And now I'm going to give you some tips that you can consider while doing this. Please ignore anything that you already know about the topic and don't make assumptions. Assumptions means you know what to say, predicting or imagining things. Please don't think about the things that you already know. Go in with an open mind, clear your mind, empty your mind, and go in fresh. Base your answers only on the text. So then the next thing that you have to do is identify any words that qualify the statement. For example, yes, for example, words like some, all, mainly, often, always, then, occasionally, yes, words like this. Because these words are there to test if you have read the whole statement. Now, generally, for reading, we have this technique called skimming and scanning. But when it comes to true, false, not given, I would really suggest that you do not skim or scan. Please read through the entire text thoroughly, because understanding just half a statement is going to put you in trouble. It is necessary that you understand the full statement clearly.
Ma'am, can I ask something?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, will the recording of this lecture will be shared?
Um, Please send us a text message after this, and we will share the recording with you.
Ma'am, I don't know at what number I have to send a text message.
Actually, I'll be putting it in the group just now. Do you have to leave, ma'am?
Yes, actually I have some work at home.
Okay. Just a second. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, everybody. I'll just type a number alone in the chat box, and then we'll continue from there. Yes.
Ma'am, your name?
My name is Sanchana.
Anjana.
Sanchana.
Sanjana, okay.
Yes. I'll just put one number, and yes, for anybody who has any queries, you can send a WhatsApp message to this number, or you can even contact us.
Okay, I just want to know, मैम आपके लेक्चर्स कब आते हैं मुझे पता नहीं चलता. मैंने आपका एक बार आई गेस स्पीकिंग का लेक्चर किया था, आई गेस कुछ 15 दिन हो गए. उसके बाद मुझे आज पता नहीं वैसे ही व्हाट्सएप चला रही, तो आई जस्ट कम टू नो अबाउट दिस.
Okay. So when you once you send this message in the oh my God, ma'am, can I please know your name?
Priya.
Just a second. I'm very sorry. I sent the number to just one person. Yes. So once when you contact us, please let us know about that, and I will put you in our WhatsApp group where all the information is posted, and you can also follow us on Facebook and
Mm-hmm.
Instagram for all updates on the webinar and other things. There are a lot of interesting things happening, so
Mm-hmm.
you can find all of that from there. And okay, I'm just putting this prior, so I hope this helps all of you. One second.
Yeah, ma'am. I got your number. I will text on this number. Thank
So
you.
this is the link to the WhatsApp. I mean to the app. You can avail a lot of free stuff in that. I will be speaking about that later. Yes. So now continuing regarding what I was telling you. Yes. So okay. So now I'll give you an example. Okay. And I would also like it if somebody could answer me. What is there a difference? Is there a difference between Coca-Cola always makes its drinks in the USA and Coca-Cola has mainly made its drinks in the USA? Anybody would care to answer? Coca-Cola has always made its drinks in the USA and Coca-Cola has mainly made its drinks in the USA. Can anybody tell me if there's a difference between these two sentences? Okay. I have a very shy, quiet audience today. Okay, so what happens is the word always and the word mainly. This is where the IELTS people actually play with you. So Coca-Cola has always made its drinks in the USA means Coca-Cola always, that is all the time, every single time, it makes its drinks only in the USA. But when I say Coca-Cola has mainly made its drinks in the United States of America, it means that it also makes its drinks elsewhere, but the major part of the drinks is made in USA. So there are two different things. So understood. So if suppose your question says, does Coca-Cola mainly make its drinks in the USA? You have the statement saying Coca-Cola always makes its drinks in the USA. You would blindly write it true, but please don't because that's false. So this is how they really play with you. So you have to be very careful of these extra words that are put in. So this is one example. You also have to be very careful of the words. I mean verbs, verbs, that is action words that qualify statements such as suggest, claim, then what else? Believe, know, words like this. So there is a difference between the man claims to be a British citizen. The man is a British citizen. The man claimed to be a British citizen means he is saying, he is claiming. There is no factual information there. Whereas the man is a British citizen means it's a fact. So that is where you have to really spot the difference. So there will be at least one of all the three answers. That is, if for example you have four questions, 100% there will be one true, one false, one not given, and one another extra. So if you don't have at least one true, one false, or one not given, you have at least one answer wrong. So that is one clue for you to find out that you have made a mistake or you have got everything right. You can use that to your advantage. Okay. Now, like I mentioned before, I'm mentioning this again because it's really important. Please do not skim and scan the text to find the final answer. You will have to read, the appropriate part of the text very carefully. It's okay. Take a minute or two and read it 2-3 times till you know for sure that this is the answer. Okay. Um. Also, don't look for words that exactly match the statement. For this is actually very suitable for both listening and reading. Not only this, even the other sections. Please know that synonyms play an important role in your IELTS exam. They literally test you with synonyms. It mostly is a vocabulary based exam. That's how it seems. So don't try to figure out the same kind of words. You should look for synonyms. Remember that matching words. Remember that you have to find matching words. Okay. Moving on, if you can't find the information, you are looking, if you can't find the information that you're looking for, probably it is not there. Like I mentioned to you before, your brain knows very well that information is there or not there. We have this thing to, instinctive thing to spot answers and spot mistakes easily. So with so much of practice, now for it, I'll ask you a question. Yes. So a teacher, a teacher who works in a school, say she or he takes home a big pile of classworks, and when she's correcting it, she doesn't have to put in full attention and read every line. She just reads through a page and she just circles mistakes everywhere. How do you think she's doing that? Basically practice. She has been practicing for so long that her brain knows to identify mistakes. The same way, IELTS is a very important test. It's, you really have to put your heart and soul into it. So obviously you are going to practice that much before you give an exam. So while you're giving your exam, your brain knows, just trust yourself, believe in yourself that you know that the answer is there or not there. Only all that you can do is practice. You are going to get a little, panicky while you're doing your exam. Just calm down. For my every webinar, I repeat this, and I repeat this only because it is that important. One of the important things, one of the key aspects to clearing your IELTS is staying calm, along with studying, of course, and practice. But please stay calm. You practice for 1 month or 3 months or even a year. You go for your exam and then you all panic. You've wasted all your time. So please stay calm. Yes. So moving ahead, one more thing. Yes. So in all the reading passages and the listening as well, your first in the reading you have three tasks. So your first task is going to be more easier than your second task, and your third task is going to be the toughest. Same with listening. Your first is going to be the easiest, and your hard is going to be. Your fourth task is going to be the hardest. Your level of difficulty increases by every task. And another thing to remember is that questions are always in order. So if you find the first question, probably it is in the first paragraph. The second question will be below your first, somewhere below your first question in the paragraph. So if you have read a paragraph and you've come down, you've come to the eighth question, don't search for the answer of your eighth question in the first paragraph. It will always be in order. Yes. And now, the one thing that I wanted to tell you about yes, no, and not given questions. So see, yes, no, not given are different from true, false, not given is because true, false, not given deals with facts. Okay, all your information in the passage is going to be factual. There, you cannot assume. There is no chance for this might be similar, this might be same. Nothing. Your opinion is not considered. The author's opinion is not considered. Nothing. Only facts. Whereas in yes, no, not given, most of the time it's the author's opinion that is there. So that yes, no, not given makes that a little more tricky, but again with practice it can be done. Okay, so now moving on, I would like to show you something. Yes, so as you can see, this is a sample of our worksheet. This is the sample of true false not given worksheet. So when you enter, for example, you take a course with us, we don't start with you just we giving you a passage and say go on find out. No, that is not how we work. So first we help you with vocabulary, we help you figure out stuff. You read the vocabulary and you don't have to always know the meaning. Based on we teach you how, with based on knowing if it's a noun, adjective, verb and stuff, you are able to at least guess the meaning. So first you find out the meaning and then you put them in sentences. So this is how our worksheet start. And then moving on, this is where your true false not given worksheet is. This is how it will look like, and then this is some summary completion. That's another different topic. But this is how the worksheets look like. I'll just give you a small run through it, and you will have access to all of this material. So like I said, it's there. In fact, a lot of material is available free on our mobile app, and the link I have already posted it in the chat box. I will be posting the link again for those who have joined recently. So this is how our worksheets look like, and then at the end you have an answer key, so that you know what you have done is right or wrong. and let's just show you a passage. Yes, so this is what your passage will look like. So you will have nice detailed passages, and I would like to state here that all our materials is prepared by our team of British experts, and they really know what they're doing. So they have, very carefully picked and chosen what will be really helpful for you, during the test. Now see, because it's true false not given, it is adapted from this. They can't just write their own things. So this is what I wanted to tell you. I wanted to show you the worksheet, and moving on. Yes, I hope you can all see this. Yes, I hope this is visible. This is how our mobile app looks like. You can install it on your mobile, and you can log in through your email ID or your phone number. And going in, you can see free IELTS course. You also have other general online English and phonics. You have lesson videos, lesson audios, lesson documents, and worksheets. Yes, so moving on, you have 42 different lesson videos. So you have something from speaking, talking about likes and dislikes, to writing, task 1, bar charts. Then you have speaking, again talking about likes and dislikes. So there are, different things. There are totally 42 free. All of this material is free. It's your beginners material, and all of it is free. Just playing one video for you. Down you can see related videos. So this is how with every video our British expert will also be giving you, small feedbacks and, small tips with every video. You will also get his input. And then we have lesson audios. Basically these work as podcasts, and I'll just play one for you so that you can get the feel of it. Okay, so this is what it sounds like, and with this you can really practice your listening and your speaking as well. These are the lesson documents. Again, you will have access to all of this if you install, a mobile app. It's Red Fox Education, and it is available both in the App Store and the Play Store. See, in very detailed points, everything is given to you in slides, and there's very detailed information about everything, and you also have tutors to help you all the time. Let's check out worksheets. You have 31 worksheets in the beginners section. So picking out one for you. This is writing task 2. Like you see, we don't just jump you and push you into writing an essay. First you learn your vocabulary, you learn to, brainstorm ideas, and only then you write a complete essay. So that way, you know what you're writing. You're sure of what you're writing. Then this is, okay, this is task 1, academic. And like you can see, there was a graph on top, and then you also have a bar graph here. That was a line graph. So this is what the app is all about. You also have a lot of phonics and other vocabulary stuff as well. And all of this is free. All you have to do is just download our app from Play Store or App Store. So yes. So coming back here, that was about us. Now I'll also give you a small description about Red Fox Education so that you can post your questions, and then I can answer them. So we offer 3 courses. Beginners, intermediate, and advanced, and all the 3 courses start from 5,000 INR, and all the 3 courses have 40 lessons, 40 hours of lessons, and if you subscribe to the classes, you will get your materials free of cost. You have a choice whether to choose a British tutor or an Indian tutor. In case you choose an Indian tutor, then you get one review or one mock session with our British tutor, which will be very helpful. You will have the real-time examination feeling. So that is there. And then after you complete the course successfully, you will also receive certification. For your beginners and intermediate, you will receive basic and advanced English communication certificate. And for your advanced, you will receive a certificate that caters to your it will focus on your preparation of IELTS. So that is about the certification. And then I also mentioned about the fees. Yes, then we only have 4 to 6 students per batch, not more than that. And you also have this mobile app which is free and you can study from anywhere. So these are the small perks, small things that we have, that we can provide you with. So I hope all of you have got the information about the mobile app, but I'm again posting it because it will be really very helpful for you. Play Store and Google's App Store, it's available both the places, and you also have the phone number there. So for if you have any suggestions regarding, please conduct a webinar on this topic. Please DM us your suggestions, and also if you have any review regarding the webinar, something that you would like to improvise on or something else, please let us know about that as well. You can also send us a mail, and please do check out our website. Yes, you can also purchase only the materials, even that is available. So for that, again, you will have to check the website. So now moving on to questions. How will one-on-one speaking take place in this pandemic? Okay, so to be frank, that is the problem of the IELTS department. All you can do is prepare right now, and then we'll see what exactly they come up, what solution they come up with. For I mean, from Red Fox Education's end, what I would like to say is, even though you are in batches of 4 to 6, your speaking will happen one-on-one via Zoom or our website. So speaking will be one-on-one, but your other sessions will be group. Okay. Now, does anybody have any questions regarding the IELTS part of it, or even regarding, um, Red Fox Education? Any doubts, please feel free to, post it in the chat box. Okay. Okay, I really had a very shy audience today. See, many of us find many different topics difficult, and we don't often communicate. So what happens is the topic that I am finding difficult might be the topic you are finding difficult too. So if you have suggestions, please send us your suggestions, and I would love to do a webinar with all of you on that topic. Okay, so one final time I'm asking you, any questions, anything that you want me to answer, or anything that you want me to speak about. Okay, so after this webinar, if you still have any questions, please send a message to that number there. Yes, I hope you have all copied it down, and please avail all the free material. It will be really helpful for you. Yes, so I enjoyed having this webinar with all of you. Signing off as Sanchana, and I will meet you during the next webinar. Bye bye. Take care, all of you. Have a wonderful weekend.